the heart of a warrior. What does it mean to be one? Determination, aggressiveness, overcoming. Teams depend on these hungry souls. It takes more than just strength. It takes more than just practice. There are so many warriors out there. So we return to crown a new champion. So squad up.
Looking for two, here comes Mythic around the corner. Great time out of fresh, he doesn't finish the kill. They've got kills towards the point. 5 more seconds is all that.
It's match day.
Still in the driver's seat of the series, but if Monolithic wants to make that change, now is a good time to start. Out of Knight's Templar, a free 40 seconds, now another 15. They're gonna get basically a full 60 on P4.
I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show.
Hope is hope right now. Oh, Lord! Oh,
Feed him, 7 league, season 3 thus far. God damn it, I'm hyped. K7, you just got a trait here.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the K7 Season 6 playoffs. I am the Madman, joined by my main man, Kamika, and we are in the losers finals, and we've got a couple of banger matches on the card. Kamika, how are we feeling tonight, brother?
I'm always feeling pretty good, especially when I get to see some top-level COD players like this going at it tonight. See a lot of very, very familiar faces tonight on both sides, especially Team Myst. Got the privilege of casting some of these guys. Some of them are LAN winners coming off this weekend, so definitely some high-caliber people coming in, Matt.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, from what I heard, they may have had a little bit of extra help from some random player called Paul X. I'm not sure if you guys know him. I've never heard of him, but they might have had a little extra help from him on the LAN there. But nonetheless, LAN winners, and they're coming into this one hot, man. Here in the losers finals, 1 win away from a trip to the grand finals to get that rematch against NOLA Flight. And both of our teams kind of trying to get to that rematch. Looking at this bracket here, you can see it's been a long road to get here, but it's been a great one. Team Myst getting a little hot start on this losers bracket run, Kamika. They've been looking good, but now running into final form. It's going to be a toss-up here tonight between Team Myst and final form.
Yeah, just looking at their side-by-side performances with NOLA Flight, you can definitely say that. Final Form only getting one map off of NOLA Flight, whereas Team Myst wasn't really able to get any, and just looking at their overall statistics from across the season, they both obviously have their strengths, but they're all in different modes, which could basically mean that either one of them can win.
Yeah, and it could mean that we're in for a long series, maybe a map 5 on the horizon. You know, to speak on NOLA Flight, they are our winner finalist and they await the grand finals right now. You know, looking at that, I mean, 3-0 over Vanguard Gaming, 3 over Team Myst, and 3-1 over Final Form. They've only lost one map in this winners bracket run, so, you know, when we talked about the results, maybe could be a little deceiving, you know, before the cast, you know, they can, you know, 3-1 and 3-0 is not too different, especially when a team is really hot like that in the winners bracket. So definitely going to be interesting to see what happens between these two teams as they hit the maps. And, you know, talking about that, why don't we go ahead and see these maps and modes? We've got a little bit of a hotel sandwich here, a little bit of a miscue there. Don't worry about it, guys. It's still hotel, but I mean, talk to me about this, Comica. 3 hotels in a row right there in the middle.
Yeah, nothing too shocking if you've been watching any Call of Duty at all this season. 3 hotels. Basically feeling right at home here, Matt, man. Obviously, starting off on Fortress, this is a map that I've been seeing quite a lot recently, especially. I don't think I've gone through a whole series without seeing a hard point on Fortress. And so this map, it can really come down. There's a lot of money hills on it. It's a very methodical type map, a very typical hardpoint map where you get your rotations and you win the map because of that generally. And so I'm not too shocked to see a team like Myst picking it, especially because they're literally playing it all weekend.
Yeah, man, and they do seem to feel comfortable on that map, and, you know, obviously maybe both of these teams kind of feel comfortable as we see it a lot. I kind of like, you know, they just touch on that Fortress hardpoint. We definitely see a lot of teams, especially in the amateur level, pick that Fortress hardpoint. And, you know, for me, I think it's because a lot of these guys, they like to play really fast, they like to get the gunnies going, they like to get active on the map, and Fortress is the best map to do that. So kind of confide, kind of reminds me of Bocage last year, give me a little bit of flashbacks, but, I mean, it's definitely a map I'm excited to see. And to have it on the first map just means we're going to get a banger of a series to start it out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think I've seen the most engagements of any map generally happen on Fortress, so you're spot on about that. Moving on over to our hotel sandwich here, going to start off on the Search and Destroy. I'm not really too shocked to be seeing Myst pulling this one out either. This was one that they did a pretty dang good job on in the weekend as well. Team Myst as well, generally very, very good Search and Destroy team. I've seen so many clips of Courtesy just handing it to people. Like 3Ks, I've got so many awesome clips of him. And obviously, Collinator, an example, they carry their own weight as well. And so, yeah, I'm sure that they're going to be doing pretty good in Search and Destroy as well. Control, this is literally the most played map on this mode, and so it's just going to pretty much come down to who's better at the meta.
Yeah, and if you could give me a little prediction, I mean, what are you feeling here? You know, you've got the maps and modes. We go ahead and look at these rosters real quick as well before we get into this one. But, I mean, how are you feeling, you know, a little bit of a prediction as we come into this one?
Well, looking at Final Form, I'm looking at 2 names in particular. I see Llama 2X and Cells. Those are the ones that stand out to me the most. Llama being a very, very star-studded player in his own right, rising to fame, especially this season. And Cells, always a good player to throw in the mix. I've seen him for the last 2 seasons at least, and dude always is on some pretty solid rosters, always carries his own weight. And so Final Form, they got a good roster. Moving on over to Myst, and you will see, in my opinion, a little bit more of a star-studded roster, a little bit more of a god squad, and so I have to throw in my hat with Myst.
Yeah, man, I mean, I think I'd have to go with Myst too. Casted them the other day. They looked really good. They've made this losers bracket run work really well. You know, and like you said, star-studded roster, man. Courtesy, Cali, Collinator, an example. Those are just 4 guys that you know are every time they come out on the map, they're gonna be frying, man. You know, I've had to pick this one. I think I might go Team Myst in a 3-1. I think it ends on that second hard point there. I think they probably pick up both the respawns, maybe the S&D. I think that control gets away from them there, but I think they close it out in 4.
Yeah, I think it's possible as well. I mean, I was edging on saying 3-0 Myst, but then I remembered, it's quite possible that they could troll one of the maps and then just easily find themselves going into map 4 through like obviously their own fault, but like, you know, just coming in a little bit cold and getting a little bit caught off guard. I've seen that happen to many teams, especially like in the challenger scene as well. Like sometimes people just aren't ready for it and they get caught off and people are like, what, who are these kids, and they just beat me, I don't even know. And so yeah, if they're not truly in their own final form up against final form, I could definitely see them taking maybe one, maybe even two maps off them, but I still think that Myst wins.
Yeah, man. I mean, it could go really either way. We know kind of how fluky a lot of these maps, especially on especially on Hotel. You know, a little bit of those fire extinguisher kills you never want to see happen a lot often. So it's going to be a mixy map, man. And I'm so excited to get into it, especially like we talked about the Fortress hardpoint on that map one is going to be such a banger of a map, and it gets so mixy as well. And you know, we can take a look back at our bracket here, just kind of looking at both the runs that both of these teams made, because it's been such a crazy tournament, up and downs. You know, Team Myst and Final Form both losing to NOLA Flight, and now both trying to fight for that rematch. You know, taking a look at Team Myst, you know, they get that win over the Phantoms there in the first round, and they end up having to play them again in the loser semis, and you know, just kind of showing, you know, it's hard to beat a team twice, you know, especially in a tournament like this, and they get it done. So that kind of shows me a little bit of resilience for them and how well it works. For the side of Final Form though, you know, you get all the way to the winners finals, and then you kind of get 3-1, a little bit smacked by NOLA Flight. So, you know, you got to come back with a little bit of mental resilience in my opinion.
Yeah, you said that it can be sometimes difficult to beat teams twice. I think that Team Myst would disagree with you, just judging by how well they beat all these rosters up until this point. The only team, it's been 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, but the only team that has significantly beaten them or even taken any maps off of them besides NACAL at XNY has been obviously NOLA Flight, who are our grand finalists. So like I said, these guys, they're top 3 for a reason. We've definitely seen like a dividing line in the top echelons of the league so far. These guys are here for a reason. I pretty much predicted this at the beginning of the league, just looking at the roster. I'm like, these guys are gonna be it. And so yeah, although I still think that Myst goes over the top of Final Form here, I can still obviously see a universe where it doesn't happen. And it really does come down to, obviously, this first map momentum, like we always like to say. Absolutely. If Final Form are just in a proper mood to be winning tonight, going into the Search and Destroy, they get a couple of good back-to-back rounds, they get in the heads of their opponents, and then it can be a little bit difficult to come back from on the third map when your back is quite literally against the wall. Things go that badly.
Yeah, man, and especially, you know, I think a map that is well going to be so important, that second map, like that as Hotel S&D, coming off the Fortress hardpoint, you can carry that momentum into map 2, go up 2-0 in this series. You're definitely going to have a really good chance to prove yourself to get to that grand finals. And speaking of that grand final spot, I wanted to ask you, you know, you're rocking with Team Myst here in the prediction. Do you think that either of these teams, Final Form or Team Myst, is going to be able to put up, you know, a fight against NOLA Flight? Because so far, only one map being taken off of them in this winner's finals. And, you know, finding themselves in a really good position here, leading in the wings. They're going to be watching this match probably on stream, taking notes. Do you think either of these teams really has what it takes to, you know, beat NOLA Flight once it gets to that grand final?
I hate to be anticlimactic, but it's hard for me to say yes, just based on what I've seen so far. NOLA Flight. I've casted Shoxy and these guys for so long. Literally some of the first people I casted when I was first starting to get into casting, dude, were these guys. These guys, demons. Through and through, search and destroy gods. They've beaten like so many really, really good teams. And so especially in challengers, I heard that NOLA Flight was making a hell of a run as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'd be hard pressed to say yes, but I'm not going to completely count it out.
Yeah, I mean, in that last cup, I mean, they were knocking off teams like Boston Academy, you know, like ESG, teams like that. I don't think ESG played in that tournament, but knocking off bigger teams in the challenger scene like that. And it can be so impressive when they make a run like that. They end up falling down to orbit in a really tough one, and then they fall into that losers finals, and they just can't get the rematch to get to that grand finals. But, you know, heading into a cup like this, you know, they could be feeling, you know, they've got a little bit of chip on their shoulder, right? Like, they just got done playing against some of the best of the best in the scene. Now coming in here, you know, they're the top dogs. They're coming out here to prove why they are the big guys in this league. And like you said, it's hard for me to say yes that one of these two teams can come up against them.
Now, one thing I will say, Matt, having casted high levels of COD and slightly lower levels of COD, we'll say, is that teams like Boston Academy, they play a very certain way, and it's a way that can be sort of predicted, but it's still hard to go up against, even though it's predictable, because, you know, that's the way you play the game. They're a very meta-oriented team. And so sometimes you can run into things where if you're playing up against constantly people like that, people that play a specific way, and then you go up against another team that's maybe not so orthodox, it can take you by surprise, like, oh, why is this guy sitting in this corner? And then your entire team is dead, and then you get a little bit tilted. And so I'm sure you know exactly what I mean being a Call of Duty player at some point yourself. And so what I'm saying is that, like, there is sometimes a little bit of a difference in playstyle you have to have going from high level to slightly lower level.
Yeah, I mean, especially with, how you talk about the aggressiveness of teams, like, sometimes like you said, like, smarter teams are gonna play a little bit slower, but, you play in some of these, lower level, mid-level tournaments, these guys are flying at you, full force, right off the gate, they hear the whistle, and they are flying at you, man, and that can get really confusing if you're used to kind of playing smarter players who are taking different angles, slower plays, better gunfights. And then you got a guy just bunny hopping around the corner in 2023 Modern Warfare 2, and you're like, I thought Vanguard was over. And so it's a lot of different looks that you're gonna get, and we do have word though, we are about to load in to our map 1 between Team Myst and Final Form, Fortress Hardpoint. Can't get better than that on the cards, man. I'm gonna have to go, I think I'm still gonna have to go with Team Myst 3-1. I think maybe one map gets away from them, but I think they're gonna kind of clutch up in this series, book that rematch with NOLA Flight in the grand finals.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Myst here as well, unless I see something different. I'm still saying it's gonna be like, I'm about 60% sure on this. Not 100% obviously, because there is some room for error, obviously, with everything, but I still think that Team Myst, based on what I've seen from them, especially in recent history, man, they've got it. These guys play well together. They on LAN and online, and so I still gotta give them a very, very strong edge as we go into some Fortress Hardpoint.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited to get this kicked off. I mean, both of these teams, though, I mean, really having good runs throughout this bracket and now finally meeting each other. It kind of feels like this one's kind of destiny, right? Like, these two teams have been meant to play each other for a long time, and both trying to get that rematch with NOLA Flight. The storyline is there. Losers finals, you win, you book your trip to the grand finals for the cash. If you lose, you're going home top 3. Nothing worse than that, man. Just makes you sick not getting that trip to the grand finals. So excited to get it started on this one.
Yes, indeed, Mattman. I do believe we are going to be getting started very, very soon here, but before we get in here, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys go ahead and give some love to all of our sponsors, aka Gorilla. They help put awesome stuff like this on, and yeah, so they're well and truly deserving of your love. And so here we are on Fortress, presented by Gorilla, a cannon, a horse, a whole bunch of war-related things here, and the battle is about to go down, Mattman.
The battle is absolutely about to go down. Final Form and Team Myst. Let's see who could really hit their Final Form here, heading into this final Losers Finals. Only 2 matches left of Season 6, man, and we're here to cast them both, and it's going to get so exciting here. Only 8 seconds to start, man. I feel like we've been talking forever. These people got to be tired of hearing us. They got to be ready for some action, and we're about to give it to you. Let's get it kicked off. P1, Losers Finals, Team Myst in Final Form.
Yep, and the time for talking has ended, and the time for action has begun, Mattman. Here we go with Courtesy. Great nade from Example to start things off. Team Myst being on technically the better side to start things off with. They're going to be looking to be a little bit more defensively oriented, trying to keep their opponents off the hill if at all possible. Gaining hills, that's a secondary objective, but ooh, the stuff from Llama might be able to slip on through. Ooh. Does get 2, and now, just like that, the spawn flip instantaneously in their favor.
Yeah, but looking at your minimap, that is number 4, Example, trying to work through the back, but not gonna happen. Diff is stiff, makes Example stiff in the ground right there, taking him out, but Llama finding one as well with Diff. That's gonna be 2 dead in the feed, make it 3 dead in the feed, 1 last up, an Example, and he is dead as well. Perfect spawns, perfect hold from Final Form there. They'll probably get the last 10 seconds to scrap, and now for these rotational kills.
Yep, like I said, I'm looking at Llama and I'm looking at Cells. They're 2 of the people that were able to help facilitate that. Team Myst are going to be getting in some decent positions to contest this. As you can see, Cells doesn't really have a whole lot of teammates helping him, and he's easily going to get overwhelmed. Diff is stiff, going to get shot in the side, got to be careful, but cannot quite. And so Team Myst very quickly enveloping the objective.
Yeah, and as well developing these spawns as well. I mean, they're trying to get on. Team Myst does take control of this hill, but for right now, still a close and contested game all over, and a perfect break from Final Form in there. Killington kills all over the map. Courtesy getting the 2 back before he gets traded out, but that is Collinator finding the 2 in the feed. and now full control of this hill. 24 seconds to left to work with as well.
Man, he just straight up walked up to both of them and picked their pocket map, man. Something that you don't normally tend to see. But either way, Collinator, he takes those 100 times out of 100. Unfortunately, what Final Form are going to be taking is a hill that most teams can take 100 times out of 100, which is a rotation of P3, getting you set up for a nice full 60. That should catch them up and even help them surpass Team Myst. A death on the outside, but traded out pretty effectively, should mean that it will be very difficult for Team Myst to break this.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Final Form stays true to these positions and doesn't get hit by any nades like that, Callie with a beautiful one, but just as I say that, 4 dead cleaning the feed, all red for Final Form, and they deal with the first push very well. 40 seconds still to work with, and look at that lead change coming in here in just a second. Another nade, Final Form finding one there, couple trades in the kill, now 2 dead, but the push now from Team Myst, finding their way into this hill. Diff still from the back here, and a perfect pinch there from Llama and Diff to find 3 in the trade as well. That's going to be the last 18 seconds in Final Form's favor. They'll collect that scrap and head over to P4.
You're getting a little bit stun checked, but does find cells almost enough to get the kill. Almost gets killed himself instead, but oh, finally, big kill to be getting. People are still breathing down his neck. That was Collinator trying to take the 1v many situation. Rotational efforts being a little bit more invested into by Final Form, and that is definitely going to pay off for them. As you can see, example, he's stuck on the gallows, surrounded and pounded completely. And so now, Team Myst, a hill that they were really depending on for hill time, will instantly be taken away from their grasp.
Yeah, and Final Form right now as well, continuing to just stretch that lead little by little. They are killed off the hill there. Team Myst finding a home on this P4. But Diff is still in the back, dealt with right there. Example on these dubsteps. Can he find one here? Gets down with his life by one there. And 1x trying to get through the top. Diff is stiff around here through this gallows side. 20 seconds left. Team Myst still in control of this hill. You got to start thinking about P5 pretty quickly as Example and Callie find 2 there. Another one from 1x to trade out. But it'll be Team Myst with the last 10 seconds of this one.
Yeah, very much needed 10 seconds as well. As you can see, they are going to be now taking the lead off of that and now making the game pretty close. Team Myst are in a pretty good position here in order to potentially spawn trap their opponents, especially if they can get a sizable wipe here. Cell's in a very difficult position. Ooh, yes, this is exactly where you want to be if you're Team Myst. Seeing 1x, he's, taking the Challenger, not expecting it. Collinator does give a swift reply, though. But as you can see, Team Myst getting actually very, very greedy with their positioning and getting... Llama! Oh, no! Llama completely ruining that setup for them, punishing the greed in Final Form, getting none of this 30 seconds already.
Llama 2x, more like Llama 4x with the 4th piece there. Aside with that one, I mean, that was absolutely disgusting. And 20 seconds left again to work with on this hill. They're continuing to fry here. 3 more dead in the feed. And look at this one. Diff is stiff and company already working around through the back. Example will deal with that one. But can he find number 8? That'll be the kill here as all 3 go down. Llama, the last one up on the hill. Team Myst does find the kills, but will they have the rotation?
Well, they got the stick to the nade of Diff is stiff. If you're Callie, that's one thing you got going your way. You also got Final Form pretty stuck into their spawn, but unfortunately what you don't have is a person far enough away to where you can proxy the spawns well enough. And so that does allow Final Form out pretty much instantaneously from that spawn trap that Team Myst had. And so, yeah, it's meaning that they could very well lose these P2 spawns as well as a whole lot of time off this first hill already.
As the pinstripes of the kill feed continue here, Cell's finding his way onto this point, and Final Form just seems to be staying just a little bit ahead, right? I mean, it's a little bit back and forth on every hill, but Final Form just seems to be winning the very ends of these engagements a little faster on the rotation, and when Diff is just putting shots into you like that, it's gotta be annoying, but Team Myst does have a chance to steal the lead here as well, as they are ready to go on this P2. It's a big gunfight here that Callie cannot win. The trade does come on to Llama from there. Courtesy and Collinator as well to follow up. So Team Myst is finding the kills, but not finding the control rate.
And with a point separating them, Courtesy gonna knock him right back off. Probably not gonna be expecting Diff is stiff to be in those double doorways. Just kidding. Courtesy finds him on the second attempt, and with that full team wipe, Team Myst could very well get a strong setup here, but as you can see, they are going to be going in a little bit deep for that for that guy's cells, and so that does actually help flip the spawns back in Final Form's favor before they really want to flip them. And so this does give Final Form a good final opportunity to break back into this objective, which unfortunately for them does not go so well. So the spawn flip actually now is going to be helping Team Myst, Madman.
He does find a couple of there, and Collinator as well to follow up. Cells trades one out. Like I said, still 17 seconds left here, but Team Myst, as long as they can hold this P3, I think it hit the nail on the head. They're going to be in a very good position to extend their lead. So everything's slowing down for just a second. Calm before the storm. That's going to be this try to break from Final Form. Probably the most important break of the map, and so far not going well. As Example and the Courtesy combined for 2 there. Cells with some shots onto Courtesy. Not going to happen though, as Callie from the back onto 1x. And Team Myst perfectly dealing with the push so far.
Yeah, we could very well see this hill turn into the big difference maker, as you said, Mattman. And while we're in this very pivotal situation, we're going to take a little bit of a listen in with Team Myst.
Okay. One more bottom. He's front the windows.
One time, one shot, one CP.
On the box, P1.
Yeah. One P1. Is he close cannon?
Yeah, he went.
Open.
Looking.
Open right now.
He went top. He could've gone top.
One
Let's see.
P2,
Bottom
One time dead.
He's going back 18. Yeah, he went back 18. I have a streak.
P1, one shot, P1.
Dead.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm top rails right now, just playing live.
Bottom dead.
What's the new?
Nice.
Yeah, top rails are new. Could be top rails too.
He got me new. Bottom new.
Nice.
I'm playing my life right here.
Oh, in the back right, back P1.
P1, one shot.
Have your
Nice.
ping.
Open.
Kurt. Bottom R as well, Kurt. Bottom R on you. How did my shot?
Bullet. No, wait. Bottom R, bullet. Top rails.
Yeah, top rails.
I spawned open.
Yeah, good.
Spawned open too.
P2 with you. Could be back P2.
Top doubles.
Go trophy close.
Kill.
All right, Mattman, what you think of their comms?
I mean, they sound really good. They sound pretty calm. They're a little bit fast, but this map is a little bit fast. So I like it. They sound clean. No one's really frantic. They're making good, solid comms. And right now, I mean, it's a close contested game, but Team Myst doing everything they can right here to stay in it. Only down by about 5 points and finding the control. They could take the lead right here on this. But so far, still Final Form in the lead by just a hair.
Yep, and Final Form. Ooh, this is a big moment here. Collinator dying huge for Final Form. That's going to give him a little bit of wiggle room to not get spawn trapped deep in this objective. Collinator going to get an interesting spawn there, but oh, it really does depend. They're going to try and flip the map on him. This could end up being good for them again, as Llama going to be looking to mop.
Oh my
The
god!
entirety of Team Myst does eventually go down. Map flipping right back again, but all the time is going into hands of Final Form through the chaos.
They cannot win it here on this hardpoint. It would have to be done on P1, but I mean, they could get pretty darn close. 210 to 179 right now. Team Myst just trying to find a way in, but its diff is stiff, and Llama just combining for all of the kills right here. 1x with one more onto Collinator. 20 more seconds could go the way of Final Form here. Now trying to transition over to this P1. You also want to make sure that you got the P2 locked in just in case things get a little mixy here. Llama 34 and 28. I mean, the guy is absolutely shredding right now, and one of your players to look at before this match, and you can absolutely see why as he finds another one. This guy might go for 40 right here. Team Myst is in control of this P1 hill and getting time they so desperately need.
Yep, getting pretty close to the 40 bomb as well as going to be Courtesy. Literally one off, but oh, you know what? You know what Llama doesn't have? That is a cruise missile. 2 cruise missiles currently burning a hole in the back pocket of Team Myst. Gotta go now. Gotta go with one of you. You can see Example. He's going to be pulling it out, I do believe, and no dice with it, it seems. Coming around the back, Callie trying to be the difference maker for his team. Other cruise missile coming on in, trying, desperately flying through the air, and he does get him off too, just in the nick of time. And wow, just extending this game a little bit longer. The rotation has got to be quick, Mattman.
That has got to be the clutchest cruise missile I've ever seen. Finds the double kill, and your teammate picks the third up. You got 1 second. 1 second. It's do or die here. Now for Team Myst, if they hold this hill perfectly, they can win it here. But now the kills from Cells, the double kill from Cells is huge. You got to get on the point right now, and you can't. Final Form taking map 1 here on Fortress in the losers finals, and what a way to kick off the night.
Yep, final form well and truly coming to play, and there it is. 2 players almost dropping 40 bombs. You've got Cells here with 35, being the final killer, making so that there's no opportunity for a massive comeback, the likes of which we have never seen for Team Myst. But, I mean, hey, they still came pretty close. They had some solid heroics going on there. You had Courtesy dropping the 40 bomb as well. Technically the only one to do it, actually. But, obviously, kills aren't the only thing here, Mattman.
I mean, yeah, you got 2 players over there, and Cells and Llama dropping 35 apiece. I mean, they dropped 70 together right there in that first map. I mean, and what a way to kick off your losers finals run, especially when, you know, I mean, we were kind of doubting them before. We thought the Team Myst was probably going to take this one, and obviously series is still going very early on, but I mean, what a way to kick it off if your final form. I mean, they led pretty much the whole way. Things kind of got back and forth there from the middle, but it was really that P5 where they just kept making a home for it, and on the second set of rotations, man, they absolutely dominate.
I mean, yeah, they did. We literally could not separate these teams on the first rotation. Going into that first P4, there was literally a second separating them, Mattman. And so, yeah, unfortunately, that P5, that P3 that I was telling you about, it was not actually a difference maker in their favor. It was actually the P4, P5 rotation. P5 especially, dude. They got so much time off of that. They were just prioritizing the kills, whereas their opponents were trying to prioritize the time, even though they really didn't have the map pressure and presence to do that. They were trying to go in like 2 at a time, and there was just one guy sitting in the barns, in the horse pastures, just waiting for someone to come in and try and take the hill time. And as soon as they hopped on, he killed them, and his teammates had the close spawn, so they were able to more quickly reinforce the objective. And so sometimes being a KDA player does pay off.
It's a beautiful analysis over there from our main man Kamika. I mean, just what a banger of a match. I mean, I gotta, you know, give a little bit of credit. That cruise missile, when it lands with 1 second left and they get the full 3-piece afterwards, a part of me said, what if they win it? What if they win it by that cruise missile with the 1 second? I mean, that would have been the greatest comeback in COD history. I mean, I don't care. Just coming back off the 1 second, I gotta give it to him. That would have been amazing. But I mean, final form, seeming like to hit their final form and no better time to do it. You know, both teams' backs against the wall here in the losers finals. It's win or go home. And if you do win, a trip to the grand finals on the line. Both of these teams, you know, gotta be feeling a little nervy. But after that one, you gotta think that final form is feeling a little bit good, feeling some momentum, and heading into the next 3 maps, you definitely have to hitting this hotel sandwich right here. 3 more hotels in a row. Starting off with Hotel S&D, I mean, tell me what you're looking forward to in here. What do you think is the key to success for either of these teams heading into this one?
Well, what I think is going to be a key to success is pretty much how you're able to react to your opponent's aggression here, Mattman. So if I'm the attacking team, I'm going to be looking to bypass the middle of the map with one of my subs just by either diving towards those stairs, pressuring the guy up top, getting control of her bedroom. That is going to be my plan. That's going to be my go-to, especially if I've got a solid set of players like Llama and Cells that are just going to be able to barrel stuff people's faces like that, and I know we can get away with it. Of course, we're going to be playing aggressive on the defense, on the offensive side, and so I'm looking to see mostly how Team Myst deals with that, and vice versa. It's just going to be like who can prevent the enemy team from getting away with more in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and I'm really looking to see if Final Form can kind of carry that momentum from that first game over to this S&D, but you also got to be careful, you know, not to kind of overextend yourself, like you said, having a few deals with the pressure here, as we get a beautiful couple views of the hotel. I mean, we've got a 3-night stay, so why not get comfortable here? Heading into it, you know, you see the map insights here, both 7-1 here in S&D, so we've got 2 very, very good S&D teams heading into this one, and no better map here than Hotel.
Yep, once again, ladies and gentlemen, at least for 3 more times a season, we are going to be kicking it at the Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn. Slightly better KD here for Team Myst, and I do have a little bit of like recency bias from seeing them do really good in the LAN this weekend, but we'll see if that goes on forward up against Final Form. As you can see, Team Myst, they do go for a little bit of a different aggressive strategy. Will it be punished by 1x though?
We'll have to see. I mean, they're bullying in very fast, and they do find that first blood. The read from Culinary as well. He turns around at just the wrong time, but Example perfectly playing his trade there. Courtesy following up with another one, and already Cells left in the 1v4, and just like that, though, finds 2. Maybe able to find the 3rd on the Cali here. Oh, the shot's good, but not quite good enough. Stunned here. Cells. 1v2.
Yeah, and really, Team Myst, all they have to do is just not take any crazy gunfights, but Courtesy, he wins the crazy gunfights anyway, so Team Myst starting off strong. Cell's making it a little bit nervous there for a second, but obviously, when you got a guy like Courtesy on the team, he is not going to be letting this one go by the wayside.
The Italian stallion right there. Rocking the Italy flags. As he does find that last kill, and great from Team Myst there to kind of bounce back, especially after kind of a tough hard point, really back and forth, a long one as well, both hitting over the 200 mark. Come in and get that first round. Now you find yourself on defense in a very good position to go up 2-0 here, but the fast play from Final Form.
Yep, and it's going to be instantly caught out. Well done by Diffistiff. Final Form knowing that Team Myst is strong in the middle of the map, know that they can't cross. They know that they can't do the bypass of the middle of the map thing easily like I was calling out to you earlier. And so they're going to have to send someone over here to deal with. Who better to send than your almost dropper of the 40 bomb. Llama does take down one, a little bit caught up there on something, whatever. But 1x trying to keep him off, knows he's got to go for a bomb plant, but has absolutely zero coverage from the main angle. Cell's going to be watching the flank and hoping, praying that 1x can get this down.
And he does, and he gets out with his life as well, so putting Final Form in a little bit better of a position here, but Courtesy already starting to clear out a bunch of these angles. They're taking the control here. Now leaving Final Form in a little bit of a tough position here. Number 5 going to get caught out there. 1x going down. Now Cell's the only one left alive. Not going to be able to find anything as Collinator takes him down. And that will be Team Myst taking the 2-0 lead here in map 2 and having a nice bounce back.
Yeah, nice bounce back indeed. Like I said, they had a really solid measure of aggression on their own attack, completely did not get punished for it whatsoever, and they adequately predicted their opponent's own aggression going towards A. As soon as they knew that they were in the middle of the map, they're like, oh shoot, if we try to cross, if we try to be any bit aggressive towards this bedroom area, more of us are going to die. So I like how Final Form adjusted on the fly. They pulled back a little bit, even managing to get the bomb plant down. Unfortunately, they had just lost too many people up until that point with the botched play towards the middle of the map. But obviously, they have some learning to go off of from that.
Yeah, and already, though, you see Team Myst flying onto the site. The nades and stuns don't matter. Cali's already pushing that bed. Bombs already planted. All the pressure put on Final Form here. 4v4 retake time. Cell's making his way through the battle, but that's Courtesy already with the first blood, putting things even more in Team Myst's favor. And a big chow there out of Example. He does get traded out, but now all left is Cells and 1x, and I feel like we've said that so many times, is now Cells dropping as well. All 1x. Can he find a kill? Can he find anything? Nothing for him, as Team Myst dominating here early in map 2.
And that is the play that Final Form was trying to do, but was not able to do successfully. Team Myst even one-upping them in their own play, saying, hey guys, let me show you how it's done. And they did it very, very well, just completely not caring about really the middle of the map. They're like, you know what, let's just go. Let's just go for it. Going for this fast plant. We've got a little bit of ego on these guys right now. We won the last 2 in a row. They've got 4 kills right now in 3 rounds, guys. How are they going to kill us? And so, obviously, the answer is they're not going to be killing them, especially Courtesy and Cali, who don't have a single death yet.
Yeah, that is crazy. We got a couple of breadsticks and a donut over there, man. This is a rough game for them so far, but hey, it's very early, so they do have the time to bounce back, especially on hotels. A lot of different things that you can do to kind of mix it up, but nothing going when you're trying to plant the bomb like that. When Cali's shooting like that, Courtesy with another one, and the round is over in the blink of an eye. Starting out with the beautiful 2-piece out of Cali. And Collinator to follow up, man. I mean, that was a fast one right there.
Yep. Blink and you missed it. Get it? Either way, that was, again, another play that Myst did, but Final Form tried to replicate unsuccessfully. Now, when Team Myst went for that same exact play, they pinched the guy out that was in the kitchen. Team Myst did not leave themselves vulnerable to that same thing. Instead, he looped back around and killed the guy that was greedily going for the bomb plant. And so, yeah, Team Myst just showing they have a lot more discipline and just experience in general, it seems.
I mean, was that bomb plant maybe just a little bit of desperation play there? Oh, I do say that. Llama with a beautiful two-piece, but immediately traded right back by Courtesy and Collinator. So a 2v2 now, Cells in 1x, again left in the clutch situation. And it seems like we just keep seeing Cells in 1x left in these different situations. Now, in this one, they are in the 2v2, but now in the 1v1, 1x versus Courtesy. This is a big gunfight coming up here, and Courtesy so far has won every single gunfight that he's taken.
He literally has not lost one. You are spot on about that. 8 kills, 0 deaths. Time is running out, though, and 1x, if he knows what's good for him, he's just going to be waiting patiently for Courtesy to plant. He may try to predict where he plants it, but he's not going to go anything super duper crazy. You see how safe he's taking these angles. He thinks his opponent's towards B, assuming that he's not going to be in his own home base yet. So he's going to be making his way back over. Checks that he's not here, so he's making his way back over to A. Courtesy, in the meantime, waiting, takes some shots. So if 1x is in the vicinity, he'll know he's here, and he'll know he's made the right decision. But Courtesy a little bit too far away off the angle.
The timing on that one and the stun does not matter. Shake it off, young man, as Courtesy wins his 9th gunfight in a row. The Italian Stallion 9-0 right now, and he is feeling it as Team Myst dominating here map 2 up 5-0. And great out of production right there. The bruh sound effect that is insanity. I mean, 9-0.
Yeah, the Stallion's looking pretty unbreakable. He's going to be wild all his life. But either way, Final Form, with their final opportunity to get something on the board in the Search and Destroy, going to try and go for this A hit once again. The people up in bedroom, Collinator trying to take some shots at them. Example, making sure they don't run up bottom, but running up the stairs instead. This is exactly what they want to do the first time. Llama a little bit alone, going to get shelled out, not ready for example. And so with that, they've lost a player already in a big bit of map pressure with it.
Yeah, and just nothing going. As the Courtesy going to invest the cruise missile here. That's info at least. Not going to find any kills, but it doesn't really matter. Cell's the only one left alive here in the 1v4. Does find 2, but not going to find the 3rd. It's Team Myst. Perfection there. A flawless victory. 6-0 over Final Form and tying us up in this series at 1 apiece.
Damn, that is, I mean, I said Team Myst was going to be good in Search and Destroy, but I was not expecting them to just completely blow Final Form out of the water. And clearly, Final Form did not either. They did not think that this game was going anywhere. Even with Cell still alive, one of the players had already left the lobby. And so, as you can see now, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to be tied up in the series. And with that, Courtesy gets a little bit of a nice stat line here, Mattman. Is the only person all season to go deathless in a Search and Destroy.
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, in and of itself, it doesn't matter how many kills you have. I mean, deathless in an S&D, that is absolutely crazy. 9-0 out of Courtesy there as Team Myst tying things up in the series here at 1 apiece. And now things get really interesting, right? Heading in to another hotel, you know, we're on this 3-day stay here at the hotel, heading into Control now. Things get a little bit interesting because, you know, if you're Final Form, you felt really good after that first map. You got a really close, tough, hardpoint victory. You edge it out, you get the dub, you head into map 2. You've got to be feeling a little bit of momentum and then absolutely have the air sucked out of you, man. I mean, just, that's a gut shot, man. And 6-0, you got a guy going unkillable over there. What's going through the minds right now of Final Form?
Probably a little bit of annoyance, probably a little bit of self-doubt potentially, but obviously if you're a good Call of Duty player, you put those things to the back of your mind. You think about them later, you stuff it, and you think about that later. You just think about winning first and foremost. And so obviously that's what you got to be doing right now, Mattman. You got to be saying, all right, well, we won Fortress pretty good. That last hotel doesn't really matter. We'll avenge it later when we go to El Asilo, because they're looking to go to map 5 at this point.
I mean, they could just be feeling like, hey, maybe we just take these on the respawns. I mean, you get this
True.
hotel control when heading back into Hardpoint, a mode that you already know that you feel good on, a mode that you've already beaten Team Myst on. It could be the exact bounce back that they needed, but going the other way, Team Myst, if they win this control, I feel like all the momentum has got to be just right with Team Myst, right? You have that 6-0 bounce back, nothing better to get some wind in your sails other than a 6-0 win on S&D. Heading into also the same map again, so you already got a rep on this map. Now heading into a different mode, yes, but you got to be feeling good coming off of that hotel win previously.
I mean, yeah, you can't not be feeling good going absolutely deathless, literally.
Yeah, 9-0 is hard to
He's-
feel bad about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's hit all the accolades for us so far. Even though he lost the first map, he still gave us the 40 bomb. In the S&D, he gave us the perfect game. He gave us the streaks. And so, yeah, the 6-0 as well. So if I'm Courtesy, I'm feeling pretty amazing about my performance. And I'm sure the rest of his teammates are as well. They haven't really been too far off, obviously carrying their own weight. And if Courtesy wasn't going like 9-0, I would be bragging about some of their statistics because, like, in a regular game, their stat lines would be pretty freaking stellar as well. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be still kicking it at the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. Not leaving quite yet. We're on a 3-day stay, as Mattman said, and we are on day 2 of that currently. And so, Mattman, what are you expecting? What are you looking at to be a big difference maker in this map?
It's Courtesy, right? I mean, he's definitely kind of what's been propelling this team. I mean, it's hard not to look at the guy. I mean, 9-0, the only player to go deathless all season long, and it happens in the losers finals in our last 2 matches of the season. You know, it was so close to not even happening. Courtesy gives us the courtesy of seeing that. I mean, a perfect, you know, clinic from them, honestly, on S&D. And heading into this control and heading into the rest of the series, that's got to be something that's got to be in the back of Final Form's mind, right? If this thing goes 5, if it goes map 5, all of, you know, the momentum, and I mean, if I'm betting money, it's all got to be on Team Myst, right? I mean, just that S&D prowess that they have, and it just looking like an advantage over Final Form in S&D is so good to have, especially having that map 5.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the route that they're gonna have to go here, Mattman. Like you said, they're gonna have to take all the respawns at this point, and this is gonna be a big indicator. This could be the flip point where they need to get all the respawns, but they don't, because this is a little bit different than Hardpoint. Obviously, the first Hardpoint wasn't that big of a difference, all things considered, but I would still rest on that, say, you know what, Final Form probably have a better shot of winning this hotel. The Hardpoint. But ladies and gentlemen, oh, okay. I guess we're gonna be starting up real soon then, ladies and gentlemen. So, Mattman, any last thoughts before we get on into this?
I mean, I think the winner of this map right here is probably going to take this series. I mean, I think if Team Myst wins this map, they're going to carry that momentum, even if it does go 5, just that S&D prowess. But I do think if Final Form can take this one away, carry that momentum into the Hardpoint, they are able to take this series. I think this is a big swing map here. And Final Form has already shown that they can beat Team Myst. It's not like they're out of this completely just because they lost a bad S&D. They still won the Hardpoint. They're still heading into another respawn. Like you said, as long as the mental is still there, you're not checked, the comps are still good, they've got a very good shot at still winning the series.
And just looking at the insights on the side of our screen, very close in the stats department. As you can see, there's really not a whole lot separating these two guys, especially on this map. I think just one more play for Team Myst, technically it was a loss, so it ruins their stat a little bit. But who really cares? They've still got the same amount of wins, so we'll look at that instead. But Mattman, we are about to get into what could be the game-deciding map right here.
It very well could be a huge swing map here as we're tied up, one apiece heading in to our second night stay here on the hotels. 1X going to start off by getting shredded off of L-Desk there. A couple of kills coming in as they do kind of light up Blue, though. A 3-for-1 trade, as that's going to be Team Myst finding the early success and finding the early positioning here on the B site.
Yeah, this is something that I was thinking about calling out for Team Myst. The fact that, I would be super duper shocked if a team feeling so good on themselves as Team Myst didn't fly in for B, didn't ask them all the questions, and I mean, Final Form didn't have a whole lot of answers. Obviously, they stopped them before the second tick, but 1 tick is pretty solid to start. And Final Form trying to spread themselves over onto A as well. And so Team Myst, if they really wanted to, they could go for a little bit of a slower cap on this, try and go for little bit more map pressure, but it seems like they're more content with the power burn, maybe thinking a little bit more about getting some time on the clock, worried that they're about to get flanked. It's all possibilities here, Mattman.
Yeah, and I mean, especially for, coming out you round one on offense, just get ticks on the board, right? Like, that's the most important thing is Cells, though, lighten up the kill feed there. Does get taken out on the trade, but not before he takes 2 to the grave with him. But as I was saying, I think getting ticks just kind of the most important thing heading out here first. Just making sure that, you put a little pressure on Final Form when they have the offensive side. And they have done that as well. 1.5 minutes left, already 4 ticks on the board. And life's about even. Team Myst even with a little bit of an advantage here.
Yep, and ooh, it looks like Kelly's going to completely bypass 1x, and so they're going to be flipping him out towards the top of the map, and courtesy the doorman, he instantly gets bounced on out of the way, though. Bouncer not quite doing his job properly, but as you can see, Team Myst, they've got at least 2 on there, and that's going to mean that they get 1 more tick. Chell has to come out from Final Form because this could potentially be deadly. 1x going and taking 1 down. It's chaos on the objective, but as it clears, Team Myst will be wiped from the objective just in time.
But I believe that second tick does come through for the side of Team Myst. So 5 ticks, only 1 minute and 4 seconds left though, so they've got to make plays, but time for probably 2, maybe 3 good pushes here. 57 seconds, that clock definitely starting to become a factor, but they still have the 1 life advantage. Gotta find a couple of kills here, and not gonna do that as Llama running all through your spawn, and 1x finding the double kill with the nade on it, and that might clear house. 43 seconds, probably another 4 dead. Final Form will have this offensive round.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty huge position for Llama and 1x to be in. As long as they are up here, there's not a whole lot Team Myst can do to take the objective. They're gonna see this coming though. They're gonna try and flip the map on them, which is what you do when you don't think that you can necessarily take Llama out there, or you don't have the time really to invest in that. And so, in they go, trying to go to flip the map on them, expecting them to be top bedroom, but there's a reason why it's so hard to take it from people holding a bedroom angle on you. And so, Team Myst are going to be spawning so far away, not even going to be able to touch the objective in time, Mattman.
Yeah, only 4 seconds remaining, and Llama and Dip just going to continue to get stats right here as Final Form takes that first round, goes up on the scoreboard, but hey, 5 ticks for Team Myst. Not bad to put in the back pocket there. Pressure definitely still on Final Form there to come out and perform here in this offensive round. I mean, you come out here and get smoked, you find yourself down a couple of ticks, it's 1-1. A lot of possibilities and a lot of ways that this thing can go.
Yep. And so just looking at the lives towards the end there, Team Myst did lose quite a lot of lives in the process. So in order for Final Form to get more towards the final defensive side, if we're going towards that round number 5, they will either need to outright win offensive side, or they will need to just keep their life advantage. They'll just have to just keep out-killing Team Myst while not getting overcapped themselves. As you can see, Team Myst are actually going to go pretty hard in for this A objective and try and stall them out as much as possible.
Yeah, but not really going to work as Final Form, just finding all of the kills that they need. Hopping right on this point, they'll already have 2 here. Make it a 3rd as well. Already a tick gone. 2nd tick being worked at as well. Example, somebody going to try to hit this from the side. Courtesy an Example finding 2 of these. Callie going to go down there, but the trade's good from Example, but a back from 1x. It's just pinstripes in the kill feed right now all over the place as Courtesy finding the edge in that one. Finding 2, maybe the 3rd here, not going to happen as it is an absolute bloodbath here in the restaurant.
Yeah, and this is the danger of going for that slow cap, like I said earlier. While it does invite pressure, and that's the goal of it, you gotta be able to deal with the pressure. And so, you see, it does open up a door for Llama to go around here. Oh, that's actually so huge, the fact that he was able to do that. If he kills Collinator here, that's a spawn out, but he can't get it done. So unfortunate. Dip is stiff. Now going to be tasked with getting his team a doorway on in here, but the rotation is not going to be as clean as Final Form would have necessarily hoped. And so, they will still be able to make a play through the middle of the map.
Yeah, and they do have a 4 life advantage, so this is the thing to look at. Still 1 minute and 38 left to work with. I mean, Final Form are very good positionally on this map as Cells finding another one there. Trying to peek one off the heady, not going to happen, but they are stopping the time for just a second. Going ahead and capping this. Not a bad position for them. If they find 4 kills here, they might be in the clear, but as I say that, Courtesy and Collinator combining for 3 there, and Callie follows up on the 4th. That's going to be Team Myst with a clean 4 dead in the feed.
Yep, and Collinator instantly trying to capitalize on this, going top bedroom and looking to be a nuisance. Again, as long as he's up here, it is going to be so hard for Final Form to take this objective away from Team Myst. This is a very integral part of any objective takeover on the B-bomb site, and also it helps them spawn towards the top of the map, so it eats away the time as well. Literally checks all the boxes, this position right here. Middle of the map, though, Final Form are looking a little bit venomous and dangerous, as you can see here. Example will get clocked out, though, and so a door does open to the middle of the map for Final Form.
Oh, but Courtesy shuts it right in their face, killing both Llama and 1X. Collinator on the 5 spree right now, 1 off a cruise missile. That's big there for the side of Team Myst. If they can lock that in, Cali does go down. Collinator does not get the cruise missile as well. 2 dead in the feed. Now Final Form, maybe with a push here onto the B site.
Huge.
They find another one. That's a huge kill.
Yeah, that's very huge from Llama to facilitate that. Going in for more, taking down another, and Collinator in the corner gets absolutely fried alive. And with that, the power burn is coming in. The doom stack from Final Form. Llama trying to proxy off, coming around the back. Only one that can stop this is Example. Their backs are to him, but it's so slow. And Final Form will go out and win the attacking side as well.
I mean, what a bounce back from getting 6-0'd in S&D to coming out firing on all cylinders here in map 3 control. I mean, we've got, like we said, I mean, we've got a 3-map stay here on the hotel, and things can get dicey, and they certainly have. I mean, both of these teams just kind of tennis balling back and forth. It was Final Form in the first map, all of a sudden utter dominance from Team Myst, 6-0 in the second, and now here in our 3rd map control, Final Form really coming out and taking it to Team Myst.
Yes, they are. And Team Myst, I think they have learned their lesson. They are not going for an early B hit. Once again, as you can see, they are a little bit concerned about losing the map. So they're going to go for the least risky play possible, and that was going for A, but still, Final Form, they're going to try, they smell blood in the water. They're going to try and capitalize. They're like ravenous sharks looking to eat these people alive. But Team Myst, they're doing pretty good, all things considered, are down currently on lives and capping a little bit slowly. But if they can invite some pressure in here and get some kills on back, they could find themselves in a better position. No, Llama on the flank, and just like that, time wasting again for Team Myst.
And the Caster's Curse has been killing us tonight, man. I mean, every time we say one of these teams is going to be in a good position, it just seems to immediately get turned on its head there as continual Final Form finding the kills right now. Courtesy not having exactly a breakout map like he has in the series so far, but finally maybe a little bit of success here as that A site does appear to get capped. A minute 50 to work with, so Team Myst still not down and out yet, but backs are definitely against the wall here in its do or die round.
Yep, and Llama looking for the flank. He's ready for it. Does manage to clock him. And around the back they find Collinator as well. Excuse me, Example found now as well. And so with Final Form potentially...
Head glitching silver stairs. One was top patio.
Nothing top patio. Nothing top bed.
Need to bed, Zach. I hear you. One slid out of luggage. Slid out of luggage.
3 top bed, I think. Top bed dead, I got him.
Yeah, so you're missing one.
I'm gonna block Cat. Cat round.
Still missing Cali. Could be our spawn.
Getting back. Bottom bed, I think.
On bottom bed. He's on the truck. E3 play. What's on the truck?
I'm just playing Cruddy their patio. I'm all the way pushed to their patio.
Middle on me.
I hear you. Nice. Nice. Still missing Cali, bro.
Kill Cali.
Auto me, I think. I don't know.
I have your help, Greg.
No, I hear him. They spawned under me. Luggage.
Okay. Oh, you go help.
Another one top patio. One top bed.
One's bottom bed.
I'm gonna...
All right, Matt, man. And so that did not sound like a team that was shaken at all by a 6-0 in a search and destroy. What do you think? I believe Matt Man is a little bit muted right now. But yeah, Matt Man, what did you think about that?
Still muted. I'm hopping in there with the listening, but I mean, you know, definitely doesn't sound like a team that completely shaked this. But I mean, definitely sounds like the team here that's frying.
And I mean, yeah, they are. They literally ended 20 and 2 lives remaining. That, ladies and gentlemen, was not close. Final Form back on the saddle, 3-0 in the hotel control, and they still can shut out the series.
I mean, they absolutely, you know, talk about a bounce back, talk about a regain right there. They come all the way back from getting 6-0'd in S&D to 3-0 in Team Myst there, taking the lead in the series. And, you know, we were talking about it before the map. I mean, all the momentum now with final form here in this losers finals. Now 1 map away from that grand final spot, the chance at that 850, you know, just getting there, they're gonna guarantee themselves the 150. So, oh, gotta be feeling good there after that map through.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, like, their comms definitely didn't sound like they were like jumbled up at all. They sounded very, very clean and to the point. And so, like I said, Call of Duty players, they have, like, especially really good ones, they have something I like to call selective forgetfulness. They'll forget that they had a scrim at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but they will also forget how badly they did in the previous map, and that actually really helps them out. But yeah, so definitely these guys, they've got the ice. They know how to shake off a bad loss and give their opponents one right on back, clearly.
I mean, it's just crazy how both of the teams just kind of seem to be trading back and forth, right? I mean, now we've had no one been able to win 2 maps in a row, and now all the pressure lies on Team Myst shoulders. You've already lost 1 hard point. Now heading into our last night here on the hotel, and it could be our last map, I mean, heading into here, Team Myst, it's do or die time. Hotel hard point. Do they get it done? Do they force the map 5?
Well, I did preface it by saying that I think that final form, based on what I saw in the first hardpoint, have an edge going into this. But is it a very big edge? I wouldn't say necessarily so. That really did come down to the wire more than we think or not. It just really, the big difference maker was that P5. It was so close really up until that P4, P5 rotation, and also kind of due to the fact that they contested them very hard in that P3. But seriously, they just had one really, really good hill in an otherwise close get 120 seconds maximum, but we'll see if that does happen, as we're going to be starting off on P1 here, Matt.
I mean, already a bloodbath, pinstripes in the kill.
Oh, well, I think
I don't know if it's
we're
just
at a
me or
little bit
if
of
the
freeze
thing
here, Matt, man.
froze.
No, it's not just
okay.
you. It's
I was
for
about
me
to
as
say,
well.
I wasn't sure if that was me or it froze, but a little bit of technical difficulties are in, so we'll try to get those fixed as soon as we can for you. But for right now, you know, Team Myst, though,